Narito ang inyong katuwang sa pagmamaneho, Arnel Doria, dito sa Good Trip.
We're talking today about Danjugan Island.
Yes.
Off the coast of Negros, which is under the Philippine Reef and Rainforest Conservation Foundation.
That's right.
Alright, para sa ating mga nakikinig lang, let's start from the basic. Saan muna matatagpuan, aside from the general description na malapit sa Negros, ang Danjugan Island?
Okay, so Danjugan Island, as you mentioned, it's in Negros Occidental. So if you're familiar with Bacolod City.
Yes, mas familiar mga tao dyan.
Yeah, so you go to Bacolod City. It's about 3.5-hour drive south of Bacolod, and you'll hit Kawayan, the municipality of Kawayan. And from there, it's about a 20-minute boat ride to Danjugan Island.
Okay. So, from Manila, we have to go to Bacolod.
You have to fly to Bacolod. It's only an hour flight. So,
Sabagay.
yeah.
So, it's actually faster to go to Bacolod than from Bacolod to the jump-off area.
Or you can also go to Dumaguete. It's about the same
side.
distance from Dumaguete.
Sige. This is the Danjugan Island. Kanina po ako na-correct ni Seth about how to pronounce it. Hindi ho Danjugan, hindi ho Danjugan. It's Danjugan Island. Can you give us a bit history of the Danjugan Island? Paano siya naging conservation area?
Okay, so ang kwento ng Danjugan is our president of PRRCFI, Mr. Jerry Ledesma.
Alright.
He's an environmentalist and a scuba diver. So he used to scuba dive with his friends in that area in the 1970s, 1980s. So way before
way before our
started,
time.
Yeah, before our time,
Okay.
tama. And he saw all of the destructive fishing practices that was happening, logging, and he really wanted to do something about it. So he approached partners. There was a group, a UK based organization that actually loaned PRRCFI money to buy the island. So
from the original owner.
Yeah, from the original owner. So eventually, once they raised enough funds, they bought the island. So now the island is owned by the NGO, PRRCFI. And they've been working on its conservation for the last, kasi they bought it 1994. So medyo more than 20 years.
23 years na this year, no? All right. Kasi reading through the history ng island, I heard na during the 70s and the 80s daw rampant diyan ang commercial fishing and mga blast fishing pa yata, no?
Yeah.
So when they assumed the island, I can imagine na the corals were destroyed and in a bad state at that time.
Yes, marami talagang parang areas na were destroyed because they use basically dynamite fishing. Can imagine it takes thousands of years for coral to form, and in a matter of seconds with dynamite that's all gone. And so even with 20 plus years of conservation work, it's still
kulang pa yan.
Kulang pa talaga. So
have any information? I read somewhere that X number of inch of coral grows in X number of years. Meron ka bang information? It takes centuries yata to grow about
so that would be like 0.1 centimeter or something
per year. A year.
Yeah, it's
so in the when they were destroyed in the 80s and the 90s, and then you started conservation by the 90s, 20 years pa lang, so there must be maliit pa yung nare-recover natin.
Yeah, if you go to the island, I mean, you will be really impressed with the coral growth. But if you listen to Tito Jerry, he will say that is nothing compared to what he saw
in the 70s.
70s. Yes, but still, like when I go there, I mean, sobrang gandang-ganda na ako dun sa coral.
Talaga.
Pero that's only like what 10% now, 20% of how it used to be.
Okay, this is the also area when mga in the old days, mga cyanide fishing din yan, no? Kasi magaganda mga isda, hinuhuli yan for export
Yes.
Mga aquarium fishes. So, okay, na-mention mo na kanina natin binabanggit yung Philippine Reef and Rainforest Conservation. Just a little background on the group. Ano naman yung PRRCFI?
Oh, medyo mahaba, no?
Oh.
So, it's basically a non-government organization. And the main objective of PRCFI is, and this is also through its advocacy, which we have these marine camps, and I'll talk about the marine camps later.
Later.
So the objective really is to educate people, especially the youth, on the environment and on conservation.
Alright.
So that's why may ganung foundation.
All right. So let's fly back again sa Danjugan Island. Kanina, before we got on air, you mentioned about the story about an eagle. On
Yes.
How Jerry Ledesma got involved in this project. Can you tell our listeners about that?
Yeah, so I was mentioning earlier that Tito Jerry had seen all this destructive practices happening on the island and in the surrounding areas. But what really triggered him to do something drastic, which is really buy the island. Ang kwento kasi is the owners of the island they wanted to cut down this very this old tree, centuries old tree, which is actually the home of a pair of nesting sea eagles.
Sea eagle, yeah.
Yes. So he wanted to sell the lumber to Tito Jerry.
Okay.
So basically, instead of just buying the tree, he bought the island. That's what he decided to do, so he could protect the island.
Yeah.
So
he was so concerned, he found way.
Yeah, he found a way
of buying the island.
Exactly. So if you go to Danjugan today, you can actually still see the eagles. They're still there,
and the tree still standing there.
And the tree's still there, and it's amazing.
That's good. Ganda niyan. Okay. At the current state, 20 years of regrowing the corals around Danjugan Island, has it reached already na parang katulad ng mga nakikita natin sa posters ng mga tourist destination already, or still in the process of rebuilding?
Well, yes, as I said, it's still in the process. Pero maganda na talaga.
Siya.
Yeah, I've actually I scuba dive, so I've traveled. I've dived across the country and also outside.
Okay.
And so I sort of can compare.
Yeah,
so maganda talaga. One of the rare things that I see in Danjugan Island is let's see, a large like big patches of coral. So it means it takes time. As I said, it takes time for the coral to grow. So if you see like a large piece of coral, then it's a good sign of a healthy reef, and you can see that in Danjugan.
Okay. Alright, medyo nagiging interesting ang ating usapan.
O nga, kailangan pumunta ka na sa Danjugan.
With us today is Miss Seth Alba Carandang from the Danjugan Island Conservation and part of the Philippine Reef and Rainforest Conservation Foundation of the Philippines Incorporated. Seth, welcome back. Let's talk about naman if we go to Danjugan, anong makikita natin doon?
Nako.
Things that will owe the visitors.
Yeah, so Danjugan Island is a 43-hectare island. And it has what is unique about it is home to 7 ecosystems. Meaning, dun sa island pa lang, marami ka nang makikita. So we have mangroves, we have forest, we have the coastal, lagoons. We even have a bat cave.
Yeah.
So seagrass. So all of those ecosystems nandun. So if you like to go snorkeling, apart from the corals, you can see we have over 500 species of fishes.
Yeah, so 572 species.
Yes, 244 coral species, 74 bird species, and actually have 10 bat species as well on the island.
So, maganda rito pumunta sa Danjugan. Bring your camera. Sa dami nitong makikita, no?
Yes. We also have bird watchers who like to come.
Alright, okay. And the lagoon is pwede kang pumunta sa lagoon.
Yes.
Parang sa movie.
Ano nga yun? Yung ano sila na
Secret lagoon, oh. Pwede, no?
Pwede.
Alright. Let's talk about your, ito malapit sa puso mo, your project about marine camps. Can you give us, listeners, what is this marine camp that you do in Danjugan Island?
Yeah, so Danjugan Island and the foundation, we run what we call marine camps. And this is where I actually volunteer at.
Okay.
So the marine camps are it depends. Some are 2 to 3 days, some are 5 to 6 days. And we run them for both adults and kids or the youth.
Your kids is 12 years old and above,
Yes,
right?
the youth camps are 12 to 17,
All right.
and then adult camps are 18 and above.
Up to 80. Okay.
Yes. 18 to sawa.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the camps are really, the purpose is really to, as I said, educate people, especially the youth, no, because parang today the youth there's so many distractions and sometimes they forget their connection with the environment, which is so important. So we're trying to reconnect them back.
Yeah.
So this is their chance to immerse again with Mother Nature and appreciate the environment, because we think that by getting them to care about the environment, then they'll actually do something.
Yeah, because most of this generation, 12 to 18 years old, I think the closest that they can go to the beach is through Google or YouTube. So it's better to bring them to the real world. They can actually see,
Yes.
feel, and touch the fish and the other animals there, no?
Yeah.
Instead
So
of
it's
just
a fun
watching.
way. It's a fun way for them to learn. At the same time, the island is so beautiful and so great photos for Facebook, Instagram. as
Oh,
well.
yeah, yeah.
So they like that.
Special mga underwater selfie, ang ganda niyan.
Yes.
Bihira yan, no? Di ba? Unique. Itong mga bata to, mga teenagers. So, how about the parents? Can they come along or stay also?
No
Oh.
parents allowed.
No parents
so
allowed.
We have adult leaders that take care of the kids. So usually we only target about 30 kids per camp, and we
okay.
have a 1-to-5 ratio adult leader to the kids. So
okay.
we make sure they're okay.
Okay. So no overprotective parents?
No parents allowed.
Okay.
And but we also have Red Cross that come and help us.
Of course. Yeah.
We have also police. So we provide a really safe environment for the kids.
Okay. What are the activities na ginagawa ng mga participants for
Ng
marine
camps?
camp? Oo, marine camp. Let's
So,
give them some idea para ma-excite lalo.
So we have nature appreciation.
Yeah.
So basically, we expose them to those great ecosystems that I was talking about. So we have snorkeling, they do trekking, bird watching. We have a bird expert
Oh, all right.
that
okay.
comes and talks to them about birds.
Uh-uh.
And then they have to wake up at 5 a.m. to do bird watching.
All
We
right.
also have classes, interactive classes. We talk about fish and coral identification. We talk
Oh,
about
okay.
birds and bat biology. We even talk about environmental issues like climate change. Recently, we integrated topics on marine debris
Okay.
and plastic pollution, which is such a big issue now. And then there's also creative and fun time for the kids. So we have activities like environmental debate.
Okay.
Yes, and we have invite artists to come. At night, they do some artwork or
And you do the
drama.
singing. And
Yeah,
you do
we
the
sing.
singing.
We sing by the beach. Like we have guitars and bongos.
Okay.
One time we even had a yoga instructor, and then we let the kids do their yoga on the beach exercises.
So sounds fun, ano?
Yeah, it's fun.
Because of this marine camp, you must be converting some young generation of conservationists or mga environmentalists, I think.
Yes, well, that's really our hope. In fact, we also run a different set of camps for the youth, but this one is more for public school.
Okay.
So this one, we run it for students and teachers from public schools on the mainland. So the municipalities facing Danjugan Island. So it's also about educating them on how to take care of the area, and we also were able to provide scholarship to some of the students. So we worked with the Department of Agriculture, scholarships for them to pursue either agri-related or fishery-related courses. So we're hoping that these young people will be, the future conservationists.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, aside from the marine camp, is the island open to public? To say, like me, like myself,
Yes,
I want
it
to go
is.
there. Is it open for me? I can go there.
Yes, it is. So a few years ago, we PRCFI developed a section of the island for ecotourism.
Yes. Okay.
So we have these beautiful mud houses that
Mud
are
houses,
mud houses.
Oh, okay.
So eco-friendly, using eco-friendly material, indigenous material. There's actually no main electricity on the island, so everything is solar powered.
Solar power.
So
okay.
we do have solar power, and so you can come as a guest, as a tourist. You can stay in the mud houses.
How many mud houses are there? Let's
I'm
say
not sure now, but I
you
think-
bring the family or something.
Yeah,
So ilan?
In total, I think the island can accommodate maybe 20 to 30 guests
single
at
time.
a time.
Oh, okay.
We try not to. It's not a big development
Yeah.
because that's not the
But
idea.
20 is big enough for a family reunion.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So you can come anytime. We accept bookings through our website and our Facebook page.
You
So it's
mentioned
open.
about the electricity, so mainly solar siya, so medyo everybody must also be involved in the electrical energy conservation, hindi yung aksaya sila, no?
Yes.
And how about water supply and so
Well,
on?
there's no fresh water on the island. It's all brought from the mainland.
Mainland, yeah.
So in our camps, we actually have a rule.
Mhm.
Each camper only gets 1 bucket of water a day,
Okay.
and
That's for bathing or drinking?
for bathing.
Okay. For
So,
drinking?
for drinking, that's different.
We have enough.
We have enough, yeah.
Okay.
So they also learn about how to conserve water
Yeah,
and
that's
power
good. That's
through
good.
the camps.
Kasi especially mga urban people,
Yeah.
they don't care about
And they learn how to live without aircon for a week.
yan. may
Things
isa
like
pa yan.
that. Live without their gadgets for a week because
Uh-huh.
a signal on the island is also challenging.
Uh-uh.
So, but then I think after a day or two, they forget about their gadgets because they're just enjoying
Uh-uh.
the place.
Because it's something that we need. We're so wired. We're so connected. We need electricity. We consume water as if there's no tomorrow. So maganda yung place na to where we bring our family, our kids. If you care for the environment, if you care, let's start with the family. Come here and
Yes.
learn how to live, with less of this luxuries in life, di ba?
That's right.
All right. For our listeners, for our listeners, pwede ho kayong pumunta sa Danjugan Island as a normal visitor. They encourage it. There are places where you can stay.
Yeah.
But when you go there, just be prepared to be to let go of your luxuries, to live simply in this island. Now, how about the other listeners? You mentioned that this is a conservation effort to recover the coral reef and the ecology of the island. For our listeners, if they're interested, how can they help in what you're doing?
Well, there's many ways to help. So, for example, for those who want to, we get volunteers also to help with the camps. So, for
Okay.
example, I'm actually a volunteer. So I run one of the camps. I'll be running one of the camps again this year. But we also need volunteers to be adult leaders during the camps.
I'm sure. Marami
So,
pa yan, ha?
Yeah, so if you would like to volunteer as an adult leader, sometimes you also get young adults. They are like junior counselors for our campers. We also need that. What else? Sometimes we'll run let's say orientations or sessions on just to raise awareness. But most of this is done in Bacolod City, so we'll also sometimes ask for volunteers from Bacolod City.
All right. Well, one of the things they can do actually is bring your children to be part of the camps, and you can help
Yes.
in conservation and maybe for the next generation. Then, di ba?
Yeah.
So when are the schedules of your next camp pala?
Yes, we have.
So they will know.
Our camps are actually during the summer. So for those parents out there who are still looking for a really great summer activity for your kids, kids 12 to 17 years old, I would really encourage you to explore our marine camps. So the schedules this year are, we have 3 camps, 3 summer camps, April 18 to 22, May 9 to 13, May 30 to June 3. Oh, and there's a 4th camp, actually,
yeah.
July 11 to 15. But this is already outside the summer season. So these are our youth camps. We also have adult camps. So this is for 18 and above. So the adult camps are 3 days, so shorter than the youth camps. So we have 2 schedules. We have June 22 to 25 and November 9 to 12.
Maybe some of you are thinking na yung ibang buwan June and July. Normally sa Manila, this is the rainy season already. But how about the typhoon sa area? Hindi na masyado,
wala
right?
masyado. Well, we will get some rain, but it's not a typhoon.
They don't pass that way.
No, normally no.
So it's just okay even June or July, okay lang yan.
Yes, and
Not a big
we will adjust if it so happens na may bagyo at that time, we will adjust the schedules naman. So,
okay, sa mga medyo oriented, medyo touristy ang kanilang hinahanap. May trekking tayo and nature work along the beach, right?
yes.
And how about bird watching? You mentioned there are 72 species of bird. So, may listahan ng birds yan na nandun that you provide the visitors?
Yeah, we have on the island.
And then we can check out sino yung nakita na natin, di ba?
Actually, in
That's a good,
camp, it's interesting because we try to let the campers identify the birds through the sounds first. Yeah, without even seeing the birds, you can already know.
Parang mahirap yata yun.
Oh, yun yung una. Kasi you will first hear them.
Mas madaling visual eh. Oh.
Actually, mahirap din yung visual. Kasi
talaga?
mabilis sila eh.
They're flying. Oh.
Yes. So, sometimes it's easier just to listen.
So, see, hindi lang coral. So, birds pa lang, exciting na yung bisita natin.
Kahit gusto mong matulog ng hanggang tanghali, hindi ka makakatulog kasi alas 5 pa lang nandyan na yung mga birds, ang ingay-ingay na. So,
hindi na kailangan alarm clock. Okay.
With the matching tuko sounds. Yes.
All right. We're talking about kanina bird watching. There's 72 species of birds that you can find in the island itself. Aside from bird watching, let's go down to the water naman. Anong pwede natin gawin doon?
Yeah, so ang number 1 activity is of course the snorkeling and scuba diving.
All right.
So the island does have facilities and equipment for scuba diving and snorkeling. You can rent equipment there, or you can bring your own.
Of course, yeah.
So mababa pa lang pagpasok mo sa tubig, ang dami mo nang makikita. Hindi ka kailangan lumangoy ng malayo, no? And recently we actually have seen baby blacktip sharks. There seems to be like a nursery or like
around the area.
And even more exciting is there's a beach there called Turtle Beach, and the reason for that is there used to be turtles that would come and hatch eggs, and but for a while nawala sila. But 2 years ago they started coming back.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I have yet to see them hatch, so I'm really disappointed about that. But our staff and our partners have seen the turtles, so that's exciting. That's really a good sign.
Yeah, the sea turtles.
So,
may dolphins then, right?
The dolphins, you might
Once
see
in a
them
while,
like cross in the open sea, no, but not really near the island.
Of course,
Yeah. So, and then we also have kayaking. You can also rent a kayak and kayak around the island. We don't have things like speedboats or things that would pollute, quote unquote, the area. We have I think glass bottom boats.
raft.
So things like that.
That's very good, no? Kasi yung yung ayaw nyo mag-snorkel, sakay na lang ho kayo sa glass bottom boat.
Yes.
And you can see the corals, without going underwater.
That's right.
And as I mentioned, bring your cameras, and especially kung meron ho kayong waterproof or underwater camera, you'll probably enjoy it. And who knows, you might discover one species while diving
Yeah.
in Danjugan Island, di ba?
That's right.
We're in the area of what they call this in Asia, where
Coral Triangle.
Coral Triangle, where
Yes.
new species are discovered almost every day.
That's right.
Oh.
And I think it's about 80 or 90% of the world's all of the world's marine species are found
Yes.
in the Coral Triangle.
Kaya nga, when you go to Danjugan, bring your camera, especially underwater camera. Who knows nga, baka mayroong isang isda dyan, it will be named after you. Pagkatapos,
Pwede.
bago ka umuwi, meron ka ng isda doon. May sailing din na activity in the island? Meron pa ba?
Yeah, we can also take guests on a tour.
The
on
paraw?
boat
Meron pa
tours.
bang paraw doon? That local sailboat?
I'm not sure
Hindi
kung
ko.
paraw yun, but it's just your typical bangka.
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
paraw. Oo.
So
It's
yeah,
not-
you can also go on that.
it's
Actually,
an outrigger boat with a sail, right?
Yes.
Oh, yun yung paraw. They call that paraw yata.
and we can also do treks. There's guided treks on the island. You can go visit the bat cave if you want.
So this is just walking there.
yeah, just walk.
Oo.
Yeah, so
That's good.
so it's really it's really connecting again with nature. It's a good place to relax
Oh.
and unwind. It's not like your Boracay or your
Not
those
the
kinds of
touristy things.
Yes, it's
Oo.
not like that. So if you enjoy yung mas tahimik na and it's really paradise. And we also tell our students, our campers that you're in the best classroom in the world because there's no four walls here, and your learning is unlimited.
All right, Seth. Can you reach out to our listeners on how again they can help you in Danjugan Island, preserve the Danjugan or recover the island? On probably how can they help in their own way?
Yeah. So again, I think one of the best ways to help is actually to come to our marine
Yes.
camps.
Mhm.
So
Once again, what are
once
the
again,
schedule?
the schedules are for the youth camps, April 18 to 22, May 9 to 13, May 30 to June 3, and July 11 to 15. And then we also have the adult camps, which are on June 22 to 25 and November 9 to 12. And for schools or other organizations that would like to have their own camps, we can also do that.
Yeah.
So you just contact us on our website or on Facebook, and we can actually accommodate you, like your group, like your own private group. We've had groups from the international schools here in Manila, the British School, who've sent students on field trips to the island. So pwede yon.
One camp is about 30 participants, right?
Yes. We try to limit it to 30
Yeah.
so that it's not too difficult also for us.
Yeah. Well, just in case there's an association there or a company there who would like to go on their own, is it possible to schedule our own
Yes.
marine camp? As outside of those 4 scheduled already?
Yes, we can follow the format that we use for camps, or some groups would say that we want to talk about this topic more, or
So
can
you
you
can
integrate? Yeah,
customize
we can
it.
customize it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, before we say goodbye to you, how do we get in touch with your group? We have not talked about how to contact you guys.
Well, yeah, we have a website. PRRCFI has a website, and we're also on Facebook. And I have an email address here if you need to, if you want to send an
Okay.
email. It's DEEP at danjuganisland.ph.
Okay.
So DEEP stands for Danjugan Environmental Education Program. So this is our sort of advocacy and education program where the marine camps are part of.
Or better yet, look into your Facebook. And
Whose Facebook? My
the
Facebook?
Danjugan
Danjugan.
Facebook. There's a Danjugan Facebook.
Yes,
right?
there's a Danjugan Facebook page.
You can leave a message there.
Yes, send us a message. Email us. You'll see all the beautiful photos of the island. Like once you see the photos, I'm sure you'll want to go. And
Okay.
I know just
like me.
Yes, and just so you know, all of the proceeds or what we earn from tourists or from campers, a portion of it really goes back to conservation. So, you enjoy the island, at the same time, you're
You help,
helping
yeah.
to protect it just by going there
All right.
and spreading the word about Danjugan.
All right. Thank you, Seth, for
Thank
joining us
you.
today.
I guess my message is come to Danjugan Island. You will really have a great time, and you'll also learn a lot. And I extend this invitation especially to the youth. Go talk to your parents, convince them to send you to camp this summer or next summer.
Yeah.
So the camps, there is a fee, of course, we will charge, but as I said,
It's worth it.
and your contribution it goes back to the planet, to the environment. So you will be making a difference by coming to camp.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Seth. With over 7,100 islands, kung hindi ho natin naalagaan yung mga isla natin, baka mabawasan na ho yan. And with the climate change impending, some of the islands may disappear. So before these islands, especially the small islands, disappear, let's pack up our bags and pay a visit to these islands and maybe help in protecting the islands themselves.